Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Voice of Radio, so today we've got news of a product. Well, I'll be honest with you, we don't know exactly what it is, but we kind of know what it is. We've got the Mew Ultra Premium Collection from Scarlet and Violet 3.5. And I'm a little bit excited. Now, there's a couple of things that need to be kind of brought in here, but I will say I found two different French websites that are listing this. So maybe it's not real, but come on, ladies and gentlemen. It would be extremely weird if there were two different French websites that were listing this and we didn't then end up with the right thing. That is weird, ladies and gentlemen. That is weird. And the cool thing here is we actually do have a little bit of content. So we're going to talk about that, but it's also from Scarlet and Violet 3.5, and that is very, very important. Now, in terms of a release date here, I'm here in October 2023, and this makes perfect sense, because Scarlet and Violet 1 is Scarlet and Violet, that's our February set. I know it launched at the end of March, but as I've told you a million times, essentially, we're going to have a mid-November set, because mid-November is too gosh darn good for Christmas shopping. So even though our sets are a little bit delayed at the moment, they will work out by the end of the year. They have to. So we know that Scarlet and Violet is our quote-unquote February set, which is coming out in the end of March. It's actually coming out in a couple of days. We know that Paldea Evolved is our quote-unquote May set. Now, again, this isn't actually coming out in May. It's coming out at the beginning of June. But that shouldn't really surprise anyone, because essentially what they're doing here is they're starting to figure it out. It's still a little bit late, but it is starting to get a little bit easier, and that's lovely. And then, presumably, Scarlet and Violet 3, our August set, will actually come out in August. That seems pretty sensible to me. And that, of course, means that our Scarlet and Violet 4 set will be our mid-November set, because, again, like I've said, we have to have a mid-November set. You cannot launch a set in December. You miss really valuable Christmas shopping time. And I did this in a previous video, but go back and check if you don't believe me. Pokemon always drop a set in November. They have done for years and years and years. It is going to happen. I'm 100% confident. So if they were going to do a Scarlet and Violet 3.5 set, launching between Scarlet and Violet 3 in August and Scarlet and Violet 4 in November, that would slot very nicely into the October timeline. And this is going to be the Pokemon 151 set that we've heard about in Japan. So in the same way that we had V-Star Universe as a special set over in Japan, that was then translated as Crown Zenith as a special set over here, we're going to see the Pokemon 151 set over in Japan, focusing obviously on the first 151 Pokemon. And then that is going to be translated over here into our own special set. Yay! Look how nicely that worked out, ladies and gentlemen. Look how nicely that worked out. So that seems pretty sensible, pretty easy, honestly. That's the set we're going to have. Now, like with Crown Zenith, what we're going to see is a bunch of products. You're not going to be able to go and buy boxes, booster boxes and packs of the set. There's going to be an Elite Trainer box, and there's going to be a bunch of other products for Crown Zenith. We've got things like the Regidrago collection, as an example. Well, there's going to be a bunch of products. We don't know what all the products are. What we do know, however, is that there's going to be an Ultra Premium collection for Mew. And it looks to be, and we don't know for certain, let's be clear, but it looks to be kind of similar to maybe the Charizard Ultra Premium collection. Now, this is where I get slightly unsure, because the Charizard Ultra Premium collection was its own thing. It wasn't linked to a particular set. And that's the one thing that gives me a little bit of pause for thought here, because this seems to be linked, and again, we're not 100% this information, until it's official, we need to take it with a pinch of salt. But we have seen distributor listings, which are generally very instructive. But it's a little bit weird that this is apparently linked to a set and the Charizard one isn't. Now, if we look at the Charizard box, what we got there was a whole heap of booster packs, spanning a whole bunch of sets, which was really, really cool. I love that they did that. We got a bunch of premium accessories. We had the lovely playmat, and then we had the metal dice and the metal markers and the acrylic V-Star marker. I'm still weirdly annoyed that they keep giving us acrylic V-Star markers. Even though we've had some products with metal ones, that was only at Worlds, incidentally. Everything else is an acrylic V-Star marker, even where the other products and the other accessories are metal. It's weird. It's weird. And then we had those free promos featuring Charizard V, Charizard V Max, and Charizard V Star. And they were awesome. And we liked them. And they could do a similar kind of thing here. Potentially. But then we run into a few issues. So if we look at Mew, for instance, there's no Mew V Star. There's a Mew V. And there's a Mew V Max. But there's no Mew V Star. That's one of the first issues here. Because obviously with Charizard they went for the free promos. But there is no Mew V Star. The other thing is, Japan had V-Star Universe. So they had somewhere from which to pull these promos. We don't. Like, there aren't any missing Charizard promos. Now, admittedly, the Charizard box actually came out before V-Star Universe, but we looked at it and it was really simple. We went, well, hang on a second. We got these Charizard promos. We've not seen them over in Japan, but that's all right. They're clearly going to be in here. As a side note, the Charizard VMAX actually, as far as I'm aware, has not been released in Japan, which is a little bit weird, frankly. But we'll get to that later. My point is, yes, it could be like the Charizard Ultra Premium Collection. That is absolutely possible. But we need to remember that Charizard had V-Star Universe from which to get promos. This doesn't. And it wasn't linked to a set. This is. That doesn't mean it's not going to be very, very similar to it. They could do other kinds of promos. That would absolutely work. And, you know, they could just link it to a set. I'm not saying it's not like the Charizard, but I am saying I've already seen some people going, it's just going to be like the Charizard one. And I'm like, well, hang on a second. Maybe not. The other Ultra Premium collection we've seen recently is the Celebrations Ultra Premium Collection. Now, that was a very different kind of thing, but that was linked to a set, and I find that very important. Now, that was a weird one. That had gold cards for both Pikachu and Pokeball, and then it had metal cards of base set Pikachu and base set Charizard. But again, this needs to be taken with a slight pinch of salt, because remember, this was Celebrations. It was a, wait for it, celebration of the Pokemon trading card game, and so they brought in the base set cards as metal cards, which made perfect sense, and that's exactly the kind of thing they should be doing. They gave us these gold cards of Pikachu and Pokeball, but that is, of course, because they were making these extra promos for Celebrations. So the difference with here was that with Celebrations, they actually gave us new cards and special cards that hadn't been seen anywhere else. Okay. So with all of that borne in mind, what is the most likely way that this Mew Ultra Premium Collection is going to come around? And the answer is somewhere in the middle. It's going to be linked to a set like the Celebrations Ultra Premium Collection, and it's going to have promos taken from a set like the Charizard Ultra Premium Collection, but it's not going to be exactly like either of the two. What is most likely is that there are going to be some Mew cards in this Pokemon 151 set over in Japan. And those Mew cards are going to be taken out of the set to be put into this product, in the same way that the Charizard promos were taken out of V-Star Universe to be put into there, except this is going to actually be linked to the set. So think about the Crown Zenith Elite Trainer box. That literally has the special illustration rare of, or special art rare, of Lucario taken from V-Star Universe, but then they took it out of that and put it in the Crown Zenith Elite Trainer box, but took it out of the set properly. In terms of the exact contents, we don't know. And anyone that says they know is, I'm afraid, telling fibs. But we can look at the Charizard Ultra Premium Collection, and we can look at the Celebrations Ultra Premium Collection, and we know there's going to be fancy accessories. We know there's going to be a whole heap of booster packs. We know there are going to be promo cards that aren't being made available elsewhere. It's going to be as cool as these two, but I cannot tell you exactly what's going to be in it. But hopefully, having looked at these other two, you've got a bit of an idea. Worth pointing out, the Celebrations Ultra Premium Collection was like impossible to find, sold out everywhere, and rose to huge value almost immediately. The Charizard one, Pokemon printed into the ground, and it's been like hilariously available and cheap, and that's amazing. So what I'm telling you is, Pokemon are probably going to do that again. Expect this, and I cannot say for certain, this is a prediction based on what Pokemon have done recently and nothing more, but I think it is a very, very sensible prediction to say that what is going to happen is we're going to have a situation far more akin to the Charizard Ultra Premium Collection, where we basically just go absolutely nuts with printing, and it's very available, and we can find it anywhere, and that's lovely. Now, before we finish up, I do need to address something which has happened since I made this video. Since I made this video, we've had the reveal of the Pokemon 151 set. That is presumably the Scarlet and Violet 3.5 set I've mentioned in this video. And during that reveal, we also saw Mew EX. Let's hold on for a minute, shall we? Yes, it is absolutely possible that this is the Mew which is going to be featured in the Ultra Premium Collection. But is it going to be taken out of the set and put in here? Are we going to be getting a special illustration rare in here that gets taken out of the Japanese, or it's in the Japanese set but gets taken out to be put in here? Is there going to be a full art? Is it going to be an alternate art that we get exclusively over Japan? The answer is we don't know any of this. So, yes, I am aware that Pokemon 151 has been revealed. And yes, I am aware that that does include a Mew EX. And I figured we needed to address that just quickly at the end of the video. But what I can tell you is, the Scarlet and Violet 3.5 set, incredibly, overwhelmingly likely to be the set that gives us this, essentially the set based on 151. However, in terms of which Mew we get, pretty good chance it's a version of this, but we are way too early and we've got way too little information to say that for certain. That's what I think. I want to know what you think. So let me know in the comment section, would you? Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk Pokemon and card games and Pokemon card games, all kinds of fun things. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, where we chat about all kinds of fun things, and get shoutouts on the channel, like the lovely Joseph Fajette, who's been a supporter of ours for a while and is a very lovely person. So thank you very much for the support, and for being a very lovely person. But by far the most important thing is always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.